resolution without a clear vision is like setting sail without a map. It's movement without direction, effort without purpose. Clarity is not just about knowing what you want. It's about understanding why you want it and how it aligns with your values. It's the difference between waking up with excitement and waking up with hesitation. In 2025, having a clear vision for your resolutions means taking the time to define your goals in detail. Imagine them vividly, write them down. See the finish line in your mind before you take the first step. Clarity also demands specificity. It's not enough to say, I want to be healthier or I want to earn more money. What does health mean to you? Is it running a mile without feeling out of breath? Is it fitting into a certain pair of jeans you haven't worn in years? What does financial growth look like? Is it saving a specific amount or achieving a promotion? When you lack specificity, the mind wanders and goals become blurry, harder to chase, and even harder to achieve. Yes, my purpose used to be specificity creates focus, and focus is where true power lies. Beyond specifics, clarity also requires alignment. Are your resolutions aligned with your deeper desires and beliefs? For example, setting a goal to work extra hours might boost your income, but if it steals time away from your family or health, it could leave you feeling unfulfilled. Misaligned goals will feel like a heavy burden, but aligned goals will pull you forward naturally, energizing you with purpose. This is where self-circleness comes into play, understanding what truly matters and shaping your resolutions to reflect those priorities. When you have clarity of vision, distractions lose their power. You stop saying yes to everything because you know what deserves your attention. It sharpens your decision-making. It fuels your determination. Without clarity, the slightest challenge can knock you off track because you don't have a strong why to anchor you. Clarity is about eliminating the noise, removing the ambiguity, and zeroing in on what truly deserves your energy and focus in 2025. Motivation is a spark. It's exciting, it feels good, and it can ignite a fire within you. But let's face it, motivation is also fleeting. It comes and goes like a passing breeze. You wake up one morning feeling unstoppable, ready to conquer the world, but by evening, that energy fades, and suddenly those resolutions you were so excited about feel like a chore. That's where discipline steps in. Discipline is the engine that keeps the fire burning long after the initial spark of motivation has faded. It's not as glamorous, it's not as exciting, but it's consistent, dependable, and powerful. Discipline is what separates wishful thinking from meaningful progress. It's easy to act when you feel like it, but discipline teaches you to act even when you don't. It's getting up early to exercise, not because you're motivated to do it, but because it's on your schedule. It's saying no to distractions, not because it's easy, but because you're committed to the bigger picture. Discipline doesn't ask how you feel. It simply demands action. And every time you act in alignment with your goals, you build a habit. Over time, these habits become second nature, and suddenly, what once felt like hard work becomes part of who you are. Discipline requires structure. Without structure, even the best intentions fall apart. Think about it. How often do people say, I'll start tomorrow, or I'll do it when I have time? Tomorrow turns into next week, and when I have time never comes. Discipline removes the guesswork by creating a system. It's setting clear routines and sticking to them. It's deciding in advance how you'll spend your time and energy so that when the moment comes, you don't have to rely on willpower to make the right choice. Willpower is limited, but discipline, when built into a routine, becomes automatic. There's another side to discipline that often gets overlooked. It's not just about doing what's hard. It's also about avoiding what's easy. It's about resisting the urge to procrastinate, avoiding shortcuts that compromise quality, and saying no to temptations that steer you off course. Discipline is the quiet strength that says, this is the path I've chosen, and I'm sticking to it. It's not glamorous, and it doesn't always feel good in the moment, but it creates results that are worth every sacrifice. When you embrace discipline, you stop relying on external forces to push you forward. You stop waiting for the perfect time or the perfect mood to act. Instead, you create your own momentum. Discipline is about consistency, showing up day after day, even when the excitement has worn off, even when progress feels slow, even when no one is watching. It's the foundation that holds your resolutions together, keeping you steady through challenges, setbacks, and distractions. When we talk about resolutions, there's often a tendency to think big, to dream of massive transformations and grand achievements. And while big dreams are essential, they can sometimes feel overwhelming, like standing at the base of a mountain and staring up at the peak. That's where the value of small steps comes in. Progress isn't about leaping to the top of the mountain. It's about putting one foot in front of the other. It's about breaking down those massive goals into manageable pieces and focusing on what you can do today. Not worrying about everything you need to do tomorrow. Small steps may seem insignificant at first, but they carry tremendous power because they are repeatable. Think about it. Anyone can take one small step, no matter how far the goal may seem. It could be reading one page of a book, saving a few dollars, making one healthier meal choice, or spending 5 minutes learning a new skill. These actions are so simple, so achievable, that there's almost no excuse not to do them. And the beauty is, when you take that first small step, the next one becomes easier. Before you know it, you've built momentum. And momentum is one of the most powerful forces in life. Consistency is where small steps shine. Big leaps can be exciting, but they're hard to sustain. You might have the energy for one or two, but what happens when life gets busy or motivation fades? Small steps, on the other hand, don't require a massive amount of effort, which makes them easier to keep up with over the long haul. And when you stack up enough small steps over time, the results can be extraordinary. It's like planting seeds in a garden. Each seed seems tiny, almost insignificant, but with care and patience, they grow into something remarkable. Small steps also teach you patience. In today's world, where instant gratification is everywhere, it's easy to feel frustrated when progress doesn't happen overnight. But true change takes time, and small, consistent actions remind us of that. They shift our focus from the outcome to the process, from the destination to the journey. When you embrace small steps, you stop worrying about how far you still have to go and start celebrating how far you've already come. There's also a confidence that comes with taking small steps. Each time you follow through on a small action, you prove to yourself that you're capable. It builds trust in your ability to stick to your commitments, no matter how small they may be. And with every step forward, that confidence grows. Suddenly, what once felt impossible starts to feel achievable, not because you made a giant leap, but because you stayed consistent. One small step at a time. The value of small steps isn't just about reaching your goals. It's about transforming who you are in the process. Each small action you take reinforces the kind of person you're becoming. If you take small steps toward health, you're becoming someone who prioritizes well-being. If you take small steps toward learning, you're becoming someone who values growth. These tiny actions shape your identity, and once you see yourself as the person you're striving to become, the journey becomes even more rewarding. When we think about resolutions, the natural tendency is to focus on what we want for ourselves: better health, financial growth, personal development, or success in our careers. And while these are important and worthy pursuits, there's a deeper layer to goal setting that brings greater fulfillment. Focusing on what we can contribute to others. Contribution adds purpose to your resolutions. It shifts the mindset from what can I achieve to how can I make a difference. And that shift has the power to transform not just your year, but your life. Contribution starts with the people closest to you. Your family, your friends, your community. Imagine setting a resolution not just to improve yourself, but to lift those around you. It could be as simple as spending more quality time with loved ones, mentoring someone who could benefit from your experience, or making the effort to encourage and uplift those who may be struggling. Contribution doesn't always require grand gestures. Sometimes the smallest acts of kindness can leave the biggest impact. A kind word, a helping hand, or even a smile can ripple out in ways you may never fully understand. When you focus on contribution, you create a sense of connection. It's no longer just about individual achievement. It's about building something greater together. Whether it's helping a colleague succeed, volunteering your time to a cause you believe in, or simply being more present for the people who matter to you, contribution reminds us that we're all part of something. It fosters relationships, strengthens bonds, and creates a sense of belonging that no personal achievement can replicate. Contribution also has a way of bringing clarity to your own goals. When you focus on how your actions can benefit others, your priorities shift. Goals that seemed important before might lose their appeal, while new goals centered on giving and creating value begin to take their place. For example, a resolution to grow your career might take on a deeper meaning when you realize it's not just about earning more, it's about providing security for your family, or using your influence to create opportunities for others. Contribution adds layers of purpose to everything you do. Another incredible thing about contribution is how it fuels motivation. When your resolutions are tied to helping others, you're less likely to give up. Why? Because the stakes are higher. It's not just about you anymore. It's about the people you're serving, the lives you're touching, and the difference you're making. Knowing that someone else is counting on you adds a layer of accountability that pushes you to keep going, even when the road gets tough. Contribution also reminds us of the abundance in our lives. It's easy to get caught up in what we don't have or what we still want to achieve, But when you focus on giving, you start to see how much you already have to offer, whether it's your time, your knowledge, your skills, or simply your presence. There's always something you can give. And the more you give, the more you realize that contribution isn't just about helping others, it's about enriching your own life. It creates a sense of fulfillment that no material success can replicate. It reminds us that our true worth isn't measured by what we acquire, but by what we give back.